Rama Maharaj ki Shri Radha Gopal ki Shri Gopal ki Shri Krishna ki Iskal Mauritius Yatra ki Samudaniya ki all glory to Samudaniya, all glory to Samudaniya, all glory to Samudaniya, all glory to Shri slippers on my side. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're going to do Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text 23, on the theme of sadhu. Who remembers what we discussed yesterday? What was the topic of our discussion yesterday? Yesterday we discussed. Anybody knows what the topic was? Getting attached to a saintly person, isn't it? Transferring your attachment from the material to the spiritual. So this was described. Who is a spiritualist? Man Ashraya Katha Mrista Shanvanti Kadayanti Cha Tapanti Vidas Apa Naitan Mad Gata Chetasa Madhashaya Katha Mrista Shanmanti Kadayanti Cha Tapanti Vidas Apa Naitan Margata Chetasa Madhashaya Katha Mrista Shanvanti Kadayanti Cha Tapayanti Vividastapa Naitan Margata Chetasa Madhashaya Katha Mrista Shanvanti Kadayanti Cha Tapanti Vidastupe Naitan Margata Chetasa
Madashraya, about me, Katha, story, Prishta, delightful, Shridvanti, they hear, Kathayanti, they chant, Cha, and Tapanti, inflict suffering, Vividaha, various, Tapaha, the material miseries, Na, do not,
Louder.
Etan, unto them, Madgata, fixed on me, Chetasa, their thoughts. Translation. Engage constantly in chanting and hearing about me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The sadhus do not suffer from material miseries because they are always filled with thoughts of my pastimes and activities.
Responsibly. You speak louder.
Repeat after me. Engage constantly in chanting and hearing about me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The sadhus do not suffer from material miseries because they are always filled with thoughts of my pastimes and activities. Purport. There are multifarious miseries in material existence, those pertaining to the body and the mind, those imposed by other living entities, and those imposed by natural disturbances. But a sadhu is not disturbed by such material conditions because his mind is always filled with Krishna consciousness, and thus he does not like to talk about anything but the activities of the Lord. Maharaj Amrish did not speak of anything but the pastime of the Lord, Vanchasi Vaikuntha Gunanu Vardhani. He engaged his words only in glorification of the Supreme Personality of. He engaged his words only in the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sadhus are always interested in hearing about the activities of the Lord or his devotees. Since they are filled with Krishna consciousness, they are forgetful of the material miseries. Ordinary conditioned souls, being forgetful of the activities of the Lord, are always full of anxieties and material tribulations. On the other hand, since the devotees always engage in the topics of the Lord, they are forgetful of the miseries of material existence.
You heard clearly? कितने भक्तों को अंग्रेजी समझ नहीं आता, सबको समझ आता है. There's no need of translation. Oh, you're doing? Okay, thank you. Om Jnantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshundrakaya Shri Chaitanya Manavisham Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maharashaya Katha Mrishta, Shrimanti Kathayanti Cha, Tapayanti Virat Papa, Naitan Madgada Chetasa. So Lord Kapila Dev is the speaker of the verse. And in this verse, Lord Kapila Dev establishes that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is this clear or is it echo? Tone it down a bit. I think there's echo. Hare Krishna. Is it better now?
Yes.
Maybe a little louder. Hare Krishna now. So Lord Kapila, make it a little louder. Hare Krishna. Lord Kapila here establishes that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this point was established earlier in this section of the Bhagavatam also. The genuine incarnations of the Lord are all listed in the scriptures. Lord Kapila Dev is instructing his mother, and through his mother actually, he is instructing all of us. And in the verse we discussed yesterday, the main theme was giving up our attachment for material objects and persons and transferring it to whom? The spiritualist. Transferring our attachment from material to spiritual. As Prabhupada has said, you can't give up attachment. Just like if we say, okay, now you are Krishna conscious, don't perform any activity. Will that suffice? I say, come on, I'm going to get bored. Nothing to do all day. Sometimes devotees come to our temple and say, I've nothing to do all day, I'm getting bored. So you need some engagement. You need some activity. Lord Kapila said, give up attachments to material objects, transfer it to the spiritualist sadhu. Because if you transfer your attachment to a genuine sadhu, he'll give you the real message. And the real message is how to practice devotional service. So continuing on the same theme, Lord Kapila Dev is further elaborating on a point that he has already started discussing. And why did he discuss that? Because his mother had an inquiry. What was the mother's inquiry? Who remembers?
How to be detached from material world?
Mother's attachment was, question was, how can I free myself from the entanglement of birth and death? This is a question that we should all be asking. In the material world, we're always asking questions, isn't it? You look at any newspaper, full of questions and answers. The businessman is asking questions. How can we make our business more profitable? The politician is asking. In the material world, everyone is asking. But very few intelligent people pose questions on spiritual topics. Most people find spiritual topics boring. Am I right? Talk about movies, romances, movie stars, they wake up. Talk about spiritual topics, they will go on and fall asleep. Because very few people have this interest. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhavanam Janmanam Ante. After many, many births and deaths, is he the fortunate soul who understands that I am the cause of all causes. So Kapila Dev is replying. He's saying, what's the definition of a sadhu? And he says, constantly engaged in chanting about, hearing about me, the Supreme Lord. That is the first requisite. Hearing and chanting about whom? So we are hearing and chanting on many subject matters. But what the scriptures recommend, hear and chant about the personality of Godhead. What is the difference between material topics and spiritual topics? Who knows? What is the difference?
Material topic lead to bondage. Spiritual topic lead to liberation.
Okay. Also, in addition to what he said, material topics are boring. Spiritual topics are enlivening. For example, let's take a popular I don't know what's on top of the hit parade right now. And I'm sure there's some song on the top of the hit parade. You can hear it once, twice, thrice. Then you get bored, isn't it? But a spiritual topic, you can discuss day and night and not get tired. Often the materialists wonder, how can you people chant the same name and not get bored? We can chant the same and not get bored because these are spiritual topics, spiritual names of the Lord. And as much as you chant, you'll be satisfied. In fact, the more you chant, the more satisfied you become. Haridas Thakur used to chant the holy name of the Lord 300,000 times a day. He never felt, oh, I've chanted enough. Bhakti Siddhanta Ji, before he chanted his preaching mission, before he started his preaching mission, he vowed to chant 1,000,000 names. And he chanted non-stop for 10 years without getting tired. So spiritual topics are increasingly fresh. Increasingly fresh means what? The more you chant, the more you engage in these activities, the more enlivened you feel, the more enthusiastic you feel. So, the definition of a sadhu is, sadhu doesn't mean he has to be a sannyasi necessarily. Sadhu doesn't mean he has to be a brahmachari. Sadhu essentially means one who dedicates his life to the mission of the Lord. It doesn't matter whether you are in a male body or a female body. As long as you are dedicating your life to the mission of the Lord, you are a spiritualist. Krishna doesn't discriminate. Krishna, in the material world, in North America, there's a saying, equal opportunity employer. You know what that means? It means you apply for a job, doesn't matter whether you're black or white, male or female, you get a job based on qualification. So Krishna is also an equal opportunity employer. Doesn't matter if you're black or brown or white, male or female. If you serve Krishna, if you take to the path of devotional service, Krishna fully protects you. So the definition of a spiritualist, the definition of a transcendentalist is that he is fully engrossed in glorifying the Supreme Lord, in hearing and chanting about the names of the Lord. And he talks about also spiritual subject matter. Now, hearing and chanting is the foundation of our spiritual life. Is that right? Nothing, no success is realized without hearing and chanting. And that is the recommendation of the scriptures. Prahlad's father was very annoyed that Prahlad had attraction to his enemy. Who was his enemy? So Prahlad's father was chastising Sanda and Marka, the two teachers of the Lord, two teachers of Prahlad. You are not doing your duty properly. It appears that the sannyasis are coming in disguise and brainwashing my son. They said, don't accuse us falsely. We are Brahmins. We ourselves are bewildered. Who is instructing your father? Who is instructing your son? But don't worry, we'll brainwash him. So, Prahlad's father placed a young child on his lap, massaged his hair, and said, dear son, what did you learn in school today? Among the various subjects you learned, what was the best of all? And the son said, Sharanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Ajamanam Dasam Sakyam Alpanvita. When he heard of the nightfall process, he was so upset, he threw the baby on the ground. So, this ninefold process that we discuss, relish, preach, was first spoken by Narada Muni when he was instructing Prahlad's mother. Prahlad's father was performing extreme austerities. If you had some idea of the austerities he performed, you would be surprised. For example, he stood on his toes with his hands raised toward the sky for 100,000 years. Some of you may be doing yoga, and we may have yoga experts. How long can you stand on your toes? Half an hour? Can anyone stand on your toes for 100 celestial years? No, no one can. He did. So, Hiranyakashipu, performing austerities, become deathless. And the demigods headed by Indra thought there's a good chance that a drag Mrs. Hiranyakashipu to our protection. And when the child appears, we will kill him. But we don't want another like father, like son. But then Narada Muni appeared on the scene and said, "No, the child in the womb of this lady is a great sage." So Prahlad had the fortune of receiving instructions when he was in the womb of the mother. So life starts in the womb of the mother. Life doesn't start after you come out of the womb. Those who advocate abortion say, "Oh, life starts after you come out of the womb." The spiritualist knows life starts in the womb of the mother. So Prahlad was enlightened from a young age. So this ninefold process, which begins with Shravanam Kirtanam, and which is the foundation of our spiritual life, was first spoken by Narada Muni. So the definition of a transcendentalist is that he is absorbed in chanting and hearing. Now the nature of these spiritual subject matter is fully satisfied one. In the Bhagavatam you see that Parikshit Maharaj decided to fast unto death. Parikshit Maharaj was given a notice. What was the notice? What was the notice? He prepared for his departure. How did he prepare? In a very glorious way. Normally when a materialist is departing, he calls all his family members, they cry, he cries, and he decides how the property should be distributed. But the spiritualist looks forward to the opportunity to hear and chant of the holy names of the Lord while leaving his body. That is the desire of the spiritualist. So, hearing and chanting is our foundation. And hearing and chanting is our most important business. So Parikshit Maharaj had received that notice. So he was hearing the Bhagavatam. He said, "I'm going to fast from water also. No food, nothing." So in the 10th canto, Parikshit Maharaj speaks as follows. He says, "I've been fasting for 1 week, but I'm getting so much pleasure in hearing the transcendental glories of the Lord that my hunger and thirst have disappeared." His hunger and thirst disappeared because he was so absorbed in hearing the holy names of the Lord, in hearing about the passion of the Lord. In the Bhagavatam, you read the famous story of Krishna lifting the Govardhan hill. So Krishna was lifting the Govardhan hill. Why? Because Indra was very angry when he saw that the Brijvasis stopped the annual Indra Yajna. And why did they stop? Well, the Lord told them to stop. And why? The demigods sometimes do get proud, and the Lord has this process of rectification. So, Indra retaliated by ordering the Samadaka clouds. The Samadaka clouds have heavy thundering. So you'll have some experience of rain. In your country you have cyclones from time to time. You had one recently. But these cyclones are nothing compared to the thundering noise that the Samadaka clouds make when they move. And the rain was falling, rain was dropping, and each drop of water was as heavy as a pillar. Can you imagine? Each drop of water as heavy as a pillar. So the Brajbasis, when they saw this heavy, thundering, lightning, raining, they all looked up to Krishna. A devotee in pleasure and pain only has one remedy. They all looked to Krishna. Krishna, please help us. And what did Krishna do? He lifted the gigantic Govardhan on the strength of the nails of his smallest finger. All the Brajbasis were under the umbrella of Govardhan. And that umbrella was very strong. The Brajbasis were worried. Oh, after he's a small child, the hill may fall off his finger. And all that. Don't worry, it's not going to fall. And all the Brajbasis were just meditating at the beautiful lotus-like face of the Lord. And as a result, their hunger and thirst totally evaporated. They didn't feel any hunger and thirst because they were totally satisfied in seeing the form of the Lord. So what did we learn from all these examples? We learn from these examples that if we get absorbed in hearing and chanting about spiritual subject matter, we will also be totally what? Satisfied. Right now we are not satisfied. Am I right? No one is satisfied. Either the material, the spiritualist should be satisfied in whatever is provided by the will of the Lord. And the materialist never satisfied. The millionaires of the planet, the trillionaires, are getting richer day by day. Why? They think, we don't have enough, we need some more. Some more, some more. Is there a limit? Is there? They say sky is the limit. For some of these greedy people, you have to penetrate beyond the sky, go above the sky also. Man's greed has no limitation, which is a ground reality. So, Kapila Deva is saying, the transcendentalist, because he is absorbed in hearing and chanting about spiritual subject matter, he is totally satisfied in all conditions. So that is the definition of a sadhaka. His interest is in Shranam and Kirtanam. Now in the purport, we'll come back to this point later. In the purport, Prabhupada made many significant points. First, Prabhupada talks about the miseries in material existence. Do you think, you devotees, there is misery in material existence or not? Yeah? There is? Even in Mauritius? Someone said Mauritius is misery free. Is that true or false? False. Oh, I was wondering how is misery free. Okay. The Prabhupada says in the purport that multiple miseries of material existence, first pertaining to the body, and the mind, and those imposed by other entities. So as we know, there are sevenfold miseries of life. Is that right? And Krishna characterizes or summarizes them in two words. Dukhalayam, Shajata. Dukhalayam means there is nothing but misery. And Shajata means everything is temporary. So it doesn't matter how solid an arrangement you may make. Everything is temporary and there is nothing but misery. Now how do we experience this misery? How do we experience it? There are various ways. Of course, one is the standard birth and disease, old age. Is birth an enjoyable experience? No, it's not. It's not an enjoyable experience. Very painful experience. Child in the mother's womb is the most uncomfortable position. Papa said, if you were to sit down with your head bowing down like a bow in the mother's womb, how does the child situate himself? Sit down with a head bent. You couldn't sit for 1 second. But sitting in that position for 9 months is not an enjoyable process. Then disease. Does anybody like disease? No? I know some people like it. Doctors. I once asked a doctor, how is business? He said, very bad. I said, why? How can doctor's business be bad? He said, it's the healthy season. People don't fall sick. So I said, when do people fall sick? They said, the rainy season. So the doctors are certainly happy to fall sick. They may say, get well soon, but in their hearts they want you to fall sick. Because if you don't fall sick, they'll be out of business. Then you have the hospital owners, like in your country also you have Apollo. There's Dr. Reddy, the owner of Apollo. He has about 50 hospitals all over the world. And he's happy when people get diseased, because otherwise they'll be out of business. Then the pharmaceutical manufacturers, they're happy if you fall sick, otherwise who's going to buy the medicine? All the chemist shops in Mauritius will close. You didn't fall sick. So, this is disease. Then there's old age. Does anyone like old age? No. No one likes old age. If you compliment a man by saying, you compliment an old man by saying how young he looks, and you insult the young man by saying how old you look. And nobody likes old age. If there was a plan out, in the Bhagavatam we read a story of King Yayati, how he exchanged his old age with youth, and still no satisfaction. Then there is disease, and ultimately there is death. But that's not the end of the story. If that was the end of the story, it wouldn't be so bad. To complicate life, to complicate matters more, you have 3 other forms of misery. Am I right? What are they? What are they? Adibodhik, Adidevik, and Adhyatmik. Misery is caused by the mind. Well, that's too much. Does the mind cause your misery? In various ways. You see your neighbor has something which you don't have. The mind haunts you. You don't get the honor you think you deserve, the mind haunts you. You see a product being promoted and you don't buy it, the mind haunts you. That's misery caused by the mind. Something happens to a beloved relative or friend, and the mind haunts you. And you keep on crying. Crying won't bring that person back. You should be crying when we see somebody who is not practicing Krishna consciousness, but are crying for someone, and someone's already departed, it's not going to help you in any way. So, the mind gives us misery in many ways. Then you have natural calamities, and cyclone is one of them. Earthquake, drought, flood. Lately, in the material world, the frequency of natural disasters has gone up 6 to 10 times. Previously, there would be a major disaster once in 10, 15 years. Now it's very common. Even in countries like America, that supposedly have all the technology, the material miseries take place. Forest fire. All over. So, misery is caused by material nature. Then, other living entities. So basically, material life is nothing but full of misery from beginning to end. In the middle, we see flashes of comfort. Just like Prabhupada used to say, in the old days, the system of punishment was, they would take a criminal, deep in the sea, duck his head under water, just to make sure he doesn't die. Give him some temporary relief, again, push his head under water. So that's what we see. Beginning to end is accompanied by misery, but occasionally you see some flashes of comfort. And when you see those flashes of comfort, you conclude, oh, the misery. Where's the misery? It's just propaganda of the sadhu. So, Prabhupada is saying, the miseries imposed are very severe, and one follows the sadhu, doesn't get disturbed when his senses are engaged in service of the Lord. And Prabhupada gives the example of Amrish Maharaj. How Amrish Maharaj engaged in senses constantly in service of the Lord. Amrish Maharaj was a king, and he was a king, but still he engaged himself in his senses in service of the Lord. What did Amrish Maharaj do? Use his mind to think about the Lord. Use his legs to walk to the temple of the Lord. Use his hands to clean the temple of the Lord. Use his tongue to do what? Chant the holy name and taste Krishna Prasad. Tongue has two valuable functions. Both are important. The tongue, the belly and the genitals, they're all in a straight line. So the tongue is controlled, then it becomes easier to control the other senses. If the tongue is not in control, then it becomes difficult. So the tongue should be used for what? In the Bhagavad Gita, you read about austerities of the mind, body and the tongue. You know that? So what does Krishna say are the austerities of the tongue? First austerity is speak the truth. Speak, but speak the truth. And especially when you come to spiritual life, pursue the truthful message of the Lord. That is what it means, speak the truth. Then what other is the duty of the tongue? And the duty of the tongue is speak the truth, but speak it in a palatable way. For example, let's say you want to correct someone, okay? And that's not uncommon in a spiritual institution. You want to correct someone. You have two alternatives. You can say, hey, you fool, can't you see this mistake you make again and again? That's a more crude way of dealing. And if we done sweetly, Prabhu, this could be improved in this manner. You get more positive response. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, the steady of the tongue is to speak the truth. Why? Because we are so used to speaking lies. Am I right? People lie in this country. Yeah. We're so used to speaking lies. And when we have to speak the truth, it's painful. Because we're so used to lying. Well, that's not the end of the story. But speak the truth, but speak it in a palatable way. If you're dealing with palatable, you will encourage a more harmonious atmosphere. More harmonious atmosphere in any community can be realized. If you speak the truth, speak it in a palatable way. Then glorify the Supreme Lord. That's another austerity of the tongue. In the nectar of instruction prepared by Rupa Goswami says, Atyahara Prashashta Prajalpa Yamagraha. Prajalpa is talk not related to the Lord. Prajalpa is topics that are destructive on the spiritual path. Now we are born in an environment where everyone is doing prajalpa. Am I right? Yes? No? You're working in an office, all you hear is prajalpa everywhere. You go to school, college, you hear prajalpa. Am I right? So that's misuse of the tongue. But a devotee's understanding is, prajalpa is not going to help me. So why should I engage in activities that are not going to help me? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was instructing Sanatana Goswami on the process of devotional service. And the first condition he gave was, accept what is favorable and reject what is unfavorable. So prajalpa is an unfavorable activity. And what's the opposite of prajalpa? What is the opposite of prajalpa? Krishna. Krishna Katha is constructive. So engage the tongue in positive activity. So, Kapila Dev is saying, the genuine sadhu whose association Kapila Dev has recommended earlier, he must be engaged in dancing, singing, chanting and dancing, and chanting and hearing the transcendental subject matter. And if you absorb yourself spiritually, then the material miseries will not be an obstruction. Then even if the material miseries are there, you have the courage to face up to it. So Kapila Dev is saying, do not suffer because why do the spiritualists not experience the material miseries? Because they're absorbed in something more positive. It's just like if you have a job that pays you a certain amount, and you get something with a higher amount, you go in there. So spiritual activities give us higher pleasure. Spiritual activities are more pleasurable than material activities. Now someone may say, that's what you would say. But we know we don't experience that happiness. Why is that? We don't experience spiritual happiness because we're not taking the medicine properly. If we take the spiritual medicine properly, then it's guaranteed to deliver the goods. For example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the opening lines of the Sixth Shastaka, what did he say? What did he say? Chaitanya Marjana Bhavamagdvagni. One of the benefits of chanting the holy name is it cleanses your heart. Our heart is, as Prabhupada used to say, as black as coal. Coal is dark, isn't it? Can you imagine anything darker than that? Yes, your heart. Something darker than the core is our heart. The heart has more material desires than ever. So to eliminate or to cleanse that dirt requires an effort. And what is that effort? It's chanting over him. Not only does it cleanse the heart, but it also does something else for you. What is that? Ananda Buddhi Vardhana gives you unending spiritual pleasure. Gives you pleasure. Lord Maharaj says, Nata Vidam Sadakatena Vishnu. People do not know how real happiness can be found. So those of you who are sitting here are connected to ISKCON know how the real happiness can be found. But the transcendentalist knows, if I want real happiness, if I want to escape the miseries of life, then what is the solution? Devotional service. It begins with chanting and hearing. So a genuine sadhu, like Kapila Deva has said, transfer your attachment from the materialist to a saintly person. What does that mean, and how do you recognize a saintly person? That has been explained in the verse before, in the famous verse, Pratiksha Karunikaha, Surya Sarva, Reina Majadava Sarva Santa, Sarva Sadhu, Bhushana. This is a famous verse. How many of you have this verse memorized? No one? So, almost everyone in every temple knows it. Anyway, Krishna, Kapila Deva explained the qualities of a sadhu. And now he is further elaborating. The genuine sadhu, a genuine transcendentalist, is absorbed in chanting and hearing. Prabhupada gave us this principle, chanting 16 rounds. When Prabhupada started the Krishna conscious movement in America, he told the devotees, chant 64 rounds a day. At that time, there were only American devotees. So, and that was the first temple. They tried chanting 64 rounds. They couldn't. They came to Prabhupada and said, Swami, those days they used to call Prabhupada Swami. Swami, we can't chant 64 rounds. The Swami said, okay, do 32 rounds. They tried 32 rounds. They couldn't do that. So they came back to Prabhupada and said, Swami, 30 rounds is also difficult. Then Prabhupada said, 16 rounds and final, no more. Some of the devotees say, Prabhupada reduced it from 64 to 16. Can't you reduce it from 16 to 4? So he said, no. Whatever fine-tuning had to be done has been done by Prabhupada. He did Shaya for the day. So, if we chant our 16 rounds and follow the regular principles, and the newness that is what Prabhupada says, you can go back to Godhead. So the transcendentalist, he may not be totally absorbed. You may say, this is too high a goal for me to achieve. 24 hours I have to chant Hare Krishna anyhow. I'm not fit for that. I'm not ready for that. So you have a discount. And what's the discount? Chant 16 rounds a day. At least chant 16 rounds a day. Follow the principle. And that is guaranteed to take you back to Godhead. The Prabhupada says here in the purport, the one who is spiritually engaged is totally satisfied, and then the material miseries do not affect them. Material miseries are there. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were holding very important positions in the government of Nawab Hussain Shah. At heart they were devotees of the Lord, but they were forced politically to accept that job. They secretly went in the night to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in where? Ramakeli, which is now in Bangladesh. And what did they say? Kiyami, please tell us in society, everyone thinks we are learned, but we don't even know who we are. Please tell us how we can free ourselves from this material misery. So this process of chanting and hearing is the main activity of a sadhu. And the main activity of a transcendental is not only chant, but also to preach the glories of chanting, to encourage others to chant. And that is how you recognize a saintly person. A saintly person has a single point agenda. That is, to become Krishna conscious and make others Krishna conscious. And if we sincerely endeavor, then Krishna reciprocates. Krishna says, those who worship me with devotion, I preserve what they have and I make up what they lack. So, this verse describes the qualities of a transcendentalist, and we should draw inspiration from this. This is a guide for all of us. We should think, oh, this definition is only for the Mahatmas, it's not for us. So this definition is for everyone. Whether you're a brahmachari, Vyasa, Manaprastha, Sanya. This is for anyone who is interested in going back to Godhead and freeing yourself from material existence. Of course, not everyone will be interested, but those of you who got connected to ISKCON are fortunate. So we should take this process seriously. And by associating with those who are chanting and hearing, by associating with those who are engaged in spiritual activities, we also get inspired. In this section of the Bhagavatam, there is the utmost concentration on spiritual association. Where spiritual association influences our lifestyle. Spiritual association wakes us up to the reality. Spiritual association guides us to the right path. We associate with Mahatma and Vani. So we should associate with those who are spiritually inspired. And by this association, we can also benefit. But the most important thing is hearing and chanting. That is the foundation of a spiritual life. Everyone agrees? Yes. Hare Krishna. We can take on questions for some time if you want.
Maharaj, could you please describe Krishna consciousness in a nutshell?
You've come too late. In a nutshell, Krishna is the supreme. We are in part and parcel. Our business is to engage the body, mind, and senses in service of the Lord. Hey, yes. It's not over as yet, the class.
We sometimes find so many excuses not to service. We find so many excuses not to chant. How do we? Sometimes devotees take initiation and before initiation enthusiastic, when after, then they do some service and then they so many excuses to not do service.
Yes. We look for excuses to avoid service. We are the losers, not the gainers. If you engage in service, you're the gainer. If you chant your rounds, you're the gainer. And if you don't chant, don't do service, you're the loser. The spiritual master or the sadhu or your associate who is reminding you about the importance of devotional service, is doing his job. But if you don't follow it, you're the loser. The doctors give you the medicine and the diet, but if you don't take it, you won't recover from the disease. Isn't it? So why do we become lax? We become lax due to various factors. One is offenses. Sometimes we're too offensive. And bad association. In the beginning we are regular, coming to the temple, hearing classes. Then after initiation we think, well, now I know everything. They're going to say the same thing again and again. I don't need to associate. And then we gradually withdraw. We should constantly desire to associate with devotees and stay in their association. Coming to Bhagavatam class is very necessary. Very often we don't come to Bhagavatam class. Only some senior devotee comes, we come. So we should come to the class regardless, as long as the message that is being spoken is as it is. Now that, like you go to watch a movie, first you see who's acting in it, who the stars are, and if they're a famous star, then you go and watch the movie. It's not like that. You should come in here with anyone who is giving you the pure message of God. Yes. Speak it louder.
Maharaj, this prajalpa investness is very common among devotees. So even after doing so much tapasya, they are not able to control it. Is there any reason for this? Because everybody.
It's a good question. The basic question is, prajalpa is a weakness with all of us. Is that right? What is the reason? The reason is we haven't developed the higher taste. The lower taste is prajalpa. The highest taste is the holy name. And in the initial stages, we're still attracted to the lower taste. Rupa Goswami says, the holy name of the Lord is sweet, but because our tongue is afflicted with avidya, we can't experience the sweetness of the holy name. So then, what's the cure? Is there a cure? Yes, no. What's the cure? Who knows? Rupa Goswami says, but if you attentively chant the holy name, then the disease of avidya will get cured. So this disease can be cured. Rupa Goswami says, Utsaha Neshya Dharya Sattar Karma Pravartana Sangatyagya Sadavide. And this disease will not be cured if you do prajalpa. So if you do prajalpa, it essentially means we're not endeavoring to develop the higher taste. So when somebody comes to you to do prajalpa, tell him, Prabhu, I'm not so advanced. You don't involve me. Do prajalpa with the walls. But it takes two to tangle, they say in English. You know what it means? It takes two to tangle, the speaker and the listener. So somebody has to be a listener also. If you don't if you don't give a patient hearing, the other person will stop. But you also have a taste for prajalpa. So the two click together. No, I mean, when I say you, I mean a plural you, not a singular you. That's why hearing is important, hearing the class is important, reading the books is important. One big weakness we have, we don't read proper books enough. I can see that by the questions. We should make a rule, read every day for at least 1 hour. If you read every day, then your mind will be engrossed with spiritual desire. Because we don't read, our old habits stay alive and they keep influencing us. You follow? How many of you read Prabhupada books every day? Some do, but it's a small percentage. We should all make a resolution. We all read Prabhupada books for 1 hour a day. That will help a lot. Okay, any more questions?
To get rid of our comfort zone. As we practice, we get rid of the material desires, but the comfort zone is still here. So what should we do?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
As we practice, we get rid of material desires, but still the comfort zone is still here. What should we do?
Keep practicing. Don't think that I practiced for 2 years, now I can take a break. Don't have any spiritual holidays. Just like just like in your country, January 1st, 2nd was a New Year holiday. In the material life, we look forward to holidays. The school children jump up in their holidays, isn't it? And when they have to come back to school after a holiday, it's so painful. Am I right? You work 5 days a week and you look forward to the weekend. If you're a rich man, on the weekend you go to a retreat. Why? Because we get bored. But we never say, can I have a weekend off from chanting? No. So what we need to do is constantly practice devotional process and constantly practice and be determined. Our determination is weak. It starts and it fades. That's why the scripture has said determination is very important. Any more questions? Yes.
So, what is the secret of your strong stamina?
Well, as I just said, you need determination for everything during sadhana. And the process is satisfying. Sometimes people think, oh, there's too much austerity in ISKCON. We hear that. It's a fact. But Lord Rishadev says, Tapo devyam putraka yena sattva. If you practice austerity, in the end you'll get unlimited happiness. So, the solution is very simple. The path given to us by the great sages is flawless. We just need to practice it with faith. Yes.
Delhi temple is the most famous temple in the world who distribute many books in marathon center. What is the secret, Maharaj? You can do it.
You can do it anywhere in the world. Mauritius can defeat Delhi also. You just have to try. You just have to try. Yeah. But there are many temples being big Buddhas in Mayapur, Bombay, Pune. But the key is having faith in Prabhupada's word. Prabhupada said, if you want to please me, what do? What did Prabhupada say? So how many of you want to please Prabhupada? All. But I don't see that in your activity. How many of you took part in the book marathon in December? Oh, very few. So all of you don't want to please Prabhupada. So if you want to please me, this should be my books. Why? Well, these books contain transcendental wisdom that can help us Oh my goodness. Just like if I were to ask each of you, how did you come to the movement? You would say, A, someone gave me a book, B, someone invited me, isn't it? And how do we sustain our spiritual life? By reading these books, by listening to the books. So reading the books is very important if we want to make spiritual advance. Okay. Any more questions? Yes, last question.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, so I always answer Maharaj. Maharaj, is it not that because of little offenses that we cannot develop the higher taste, and which as a result lead to prajalpa because of small offenses? Would you?
Offenses should be avoided. That's why in every temple of ISKCON, every morning we chant 10 offenses. Offenses should be avoided. What was your question?
That is, because of offenses, one does not develop the higher taste, and then as a result, we get indulged in the prajalpa.
Well, the offenses should be avoided. But there are different types of offenses. One is Guru Prad, Vaishnava Prad. Then there's offenses in the chanting of the holy name. Generally, we should avoid the offenses. And they're not difficult to avoid. At least we should not be motivated by envy, hatred, jealousy, etc. These are dangerous. And what did Lord Chaitanya say? Just like a beautiful garden gets spoiled when a mad element comes in, these offenses spoil our spiritual life. So avoid offenses. May speak on offenses one day. Okay? So what's the evening program? Are you going to announce it?
Hare Krishna.
Where is Vijay?
Maharaj, we have some pledges form for construction for going on. I think
High Moon, we do it in the
distribute it.
High Moon.
He's in charge for the fundraising.
High Moon. We do it in the evening, no?
Evening. Okay, evening.
What time in the evening
Hare
program?
Krishna. And call him a cigar and applause for Maharaj. When we were planning for Maharaj to come for New Year, some devotee said, oh, it's New Year. We won't have people in the class. There's so many devotees are there.